All right, let's get Dear Esther started off properly. Yeah. Again, this game is
Dear Esther,
tremendously beautiful.
I've lost track of how long I've been here and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me.
Yeah, that's a vista.
I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea.
Island he knows.
Besides, I have always considered that if
very
one is
well.
to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
All right, well, what do we have here? Oh, it looks like some sort of abandoned dockhouse. All right, we can kind of like look at stuff. All right, let's do a little exploring here before we move on. Oh. Oh. It looks like a chemical compound. Yeah, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen. Okay, well, someone was doing their chemistry homework on the wall. I mean, that's not very respectful, but, I mean, it's definitely effective. All right. Check out over here. Oh, yeah, more of this fluorescent paint. Huh. Okay, well, let's keep going. Oh, that was ethanol. Oh, cool. Yeah, most of, I feel like most of my chemistry memory is gone. It's funny, because chemistry used to be one of my favorite all-time classes. I was a real big old nerd in high school. Chemistry and physics were probably my two favorite classes. Let's go for a little stroll down by the beach. Yeah, this game is still really visually striking. I mean, it goes to show that, you know, art is more important than fidelity. I mean, that's why generally Nintendo games hold up so well. Their art design is so incredibly strong. I mean, I think this is another good example of maybe a more realistic aesthetic. Like the way the light is hitting the mountain, or like not the mountain, but the hill here. All right, so there's another route down here.
There was once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand.
I mean, they have newer
They
turbines.
clearly never came here to experience the becalming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
Interesting. So, I guess at some point maybe we lived on the island. And it would explain how we know this place so incredibly well. Alright, well, let's go up. There was another path up there. We want to spend all our time down at the beach. I mean, we know there's more down here, so if we need to explore here, we will. Also, this game and all of the games from the Chinese Room are beautifully scored by Jessica Curry. Her work is so moving. Like, especially the music from Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, I will still listen to. Like, it's very rare that I'll ever listen to any video game soundtracks, but that is one of the few exceptions. She really understands, like, the emotionality of instruments in a way that few games touch on. Oh, I wonder if this is... Oh, I wonder if we had to come up this way. I wonder if we came this way, it would have been blocked. Okay. Yeah, this game has a very serene quality to it. Something I think we can all use right now.
Reading Donnelly.
I know, I love lighthouses.
He landed on the south side of the island, followed the path to the bay and climbed the mount. He did not find the caves, and he did not chart the north side.
Okay.
I think this is why his understanding of the island is flawed, incomplete. He stood on the mount and only wondered momentarily how to descend. But then, he didn't have my reasons.
Interesting. No, I love... I mean, in another life, in another time, I could totally see myself being like a lighthouse keeper. I mean, I feel like the key to that is you gotta bring a lot of books. If you don't like reading, I feel like keeping a lighthouse might not be for you.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or fishing boats.
Over
and
there.
To send aid or impose a cordon of protection. And wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this. To keep any would-be rescuers at bay.
I mean, are those the lines he's talking
the infection
about?
is not simply of the flesh.
Huh. So he's... He makes the claim that he is dying, but not of a physical way. Interesting. Okay. I know, a cozy little lighthouse? You know, you get yourself like a lighthouse cat. Maybe a couple cats, maybe a pair of cats. You, maybe a partner.
A motley lot with little to recommend them. I have now spent 3 days in their company. That is, I fear, enough for any man not born amongst them.
Damn.
Despite their tedious inclination to quote scripture, they seem to me the most godforsaken of all the inhabitants of the Outer Isles. Indeed, in this case, the very gravity of that term, forsaken by God, seems to find its very apex.
Jeez.
It appears to me that Donnelly, too, found those who wander this shoreline to be adrift from any chance of redemption.
Yeah, he was not a big fan of the inhabitants. Okay, so this guy said, you know, Donnelly, not a big fan of this this island. Yeah, I love these kind of environments. I mean, this is very similar to parts of like the Canadian like Shield, the wilderness, like lots of rocks, lots of trees. Ooh,
Dear Esther,
that's definitely a cave.
I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage.
Okay.
By Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet.
Well, who is he?
Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Why was he so panicked by you? Huh. I guess all of these notes are to Esther. Oh.
I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck
is that more
aches from
the
staring up at
phosphorescent
the
paint?
aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
Interesting. Huh. That looks like ethanol again, if I'm not mistaken. A 3-bonded HC on OH and... Let's see what this is. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is a neat little cave. I wonder who's drawing these then. Alright, well, let's press forward. Or in this case, I guess backwards and then forward. Let these legs carry you far. Yeah, the way they've designed this environment is obviously, you know, it's rather simple, but it's very evocative of a real place. I wonder, do you know, it's actually funny. I've never looked into it, but I wonder if this island is based on anywhere real. I haven't looked into it, but I would not be surprised. It is such like it has such an organic feel to it. Yeah, no, but it's like a beautiful gloominess. It's kind of like how the idea behind, like, you know, the sublime is something that is equally terrifying and beautiful. In the same way, I think there are kinds of things that are beautiful that are either they're both gloomy or sad and beautiful at the same time. And this definitely captures that.
I've become convinced I'm not alone here.
Ooh.
Even though I'm equally sure it is simply a delusion brought upon by circumstance.
Okay.
I do not, for instance, remember where I found the candles.
Huh.
Or why I took it upon myself to light such a strange pathway.
Interesting.
Perhaps it is only for those who are bound to follow.
Huh. I mean, I don't see any candles, but maybe that's something we'll run into. I'm assuming we're playing the man reading the note. Not Stonehenge? Oh, what's this? Looks like a Holy Bible. Okay, there's two paths. One down to the left, one up to the right. Let's go to the left first. See if there's anything here. This might just go back down to the beach. I wonder if there's like multiple paths that we can take to get up here. Oh, that's certainly. Oh, geez. Wait, what? Nope. Okay, well, that looked like a pile of tires. But I guess we have a different fate, so we must continue on. Always forwards. Come on, buddy. It's not that tall. You can make it. Come on. Yeah, this beautiful, like, mossy texture going across all of the, like, stone carving up the island is so beautiful. All the little pieces flooding around definitely give it life. Alright, so this must be the way we... Okay. So, Donnelly. Previously discovered and learned about this island.
I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times.
That's a weird thing to do.
But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my ordnance survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turnoff for Sanford and the Welcome Break services.
Some section of the highway you're looking for.
I always see it in my rearview mirror. I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Interesting. Looking for something on a highway. How that could be connected to this island? And we have to go to that tower at some point. Come on. Definitely have to wander through there. One thing that also I feel like is crucially important for any games where you're doing a lot of walking and exploring like this. Funny enough, it's the sound of your footsteps matching up with what you're walking on. It makes such a big difference in your ability to kind of be engrossed like this. Hearing the soft trail footprints definitely help you feel like you're here. But we're really going out here, huh? I want to see these shipwrecks, too. Maybe it's not a
All
shipwreck,
night
it's
the boy has
salvage.
kept me lucid. I sat when I was at the very edge of despair, when I thought I would never unlock the secret of the island. I sat at the edge and I watched the
Wait,
idiot
secret
boy
of the
blink
island?
through the night.
Yeah, there's the buoy.
And he is retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as deaf-mute. In many ways, we have much in common.
Huh. I mean, I have a great love of this, so I definitely I feel the mood of this game in a deep way. Yeah. All right. Well, let's investigate this. Something interesting has to be going on here. Yeah, and the sunbeams pouring through too. Like, this is one of those moments that remind me of, like, the film term, like, the mise en scène. Like everything within the frame, essentially, or within the scene. Like, this game, it feels like everything is considered in such a, like, thoughtful way. Paint? Very odd. Seems strange that no one would come and, get this salvage. I mean, this stuff looks like it's been here a while. Yeah. I mean, this looks like it was just a cargo freight. Well, let's investigate over this way, down by, looks like another shipwreck down closer to the shore. Yeah, and the sounds of, like, walking on, like, loose, like, gravel or dirt.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Oh. Wait, what? Something on this side of the boat. Huh. And... yeah, I didn't see that. Huh. I wonder if it's in like a regional English? I don't know. And I think, and neither did he eat nor drink. Ah, yes, and neither did he eat nor drink. Hey, Kenora, how are you doing today? Or Devin, I should say. How are you doing? We're having a bit of an explore. And neither did he eat nor drink. I mean, the way that's written, it sounds biblical, but I guess we'll press on. There's nowhere really else to go except through this valley.
I had kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half
kidney stones
submerged
suck.
in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
No, this is a different game. Yeah, this is Dear Esther, one of the I would say the four, I don't want to say the forebearer, but like one of the big stepping stones in exploration based like games, you know, things that eventually led to like Gone Home. Ooh.
When I first looked into the shaft, I swear I felt the stones in my stomach shift in recognition.
Yeah, no kidding. Now this is something that's sublime, both beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Yeah, I'd prefer not to fall down that. All right, up we go. Yeah, the game the other day was Cradle, which was interesting, but I feel like imperfect.
I've begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under.
Okay.
I will
Up and
stash
then
the
way
last
under.
vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there.
Okay.
I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
Huh. Yeah, this guy is fixated with basically plunging off of something. Or plunging into something. I want to take a look over here first. Just to see if there's anything we can... Nope. Can't walk over that log. This is also a place that reminds me of like different historical sites, you know, built by early groups that have long since either migrated or abandoned the place, but, you know, they still stand the test of time. Up we go. Yeah, so beautiful.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career.
Oh, okay.
The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of
Taming
migratory
the sheep.
Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. He records that it did not work.
I know the background track
He
is
caught
so
some
beautiful.
disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it.
Okay.
There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him.
That's so sad. Alright, well, let's investigate this house. Assuming this is the bothy. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the Chinese room, their games, I don't know if all of them, but at least their first 3 games were scored by Jessica Curry.
When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake.
Oh.
I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Oh. Interesting. The book that is apparently bound to him. Yeah, Jessica Curry did the soundtracks, I believe, on this game, Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Yeah, look at that. Now let's look down here. Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. Okay, whew. Found myself there. I've only watched, no, I have watched Westworld. No, I did finish it. Westworld, the music for that is fantastic. For some reason I was thinking of another HBO show, but I can't remember. But no, Westworld is amazing. There's another path that goes all the way down there. Huh. Okay. Yeah, Westworld has got some amazing scoring. Alright, I'm guessing we're gonna have to get down there sometime. Over we go. Slow and steady. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. The score in this also kind of beautifully moves in and out, where by it not being just like constant score, you actually notice it a little bit more. So when it comes in, it actually has impact. Alright, so maybe we go up there. Yeah, it looks like that's where the path is. This game is also remarkable for its actual game design. You know, despite the fact that it is, you know, fairly linear, it does have... Ooh, this. Some burnt writing. really smart level design that gets you to notice the way the environment is kind of shaped for your traversal. Oh. It looks kind of like the molecule. Yeah. Kind of like the way the ethanol is shaped. Yeah, the texturing is really good. Yeah, perhaps we can go up here. Perhaps not, but we can see. Yeah, I don't see a way up through that way. Oh, interesting. I mean, Game of Thrones definitely has an incredibly iconic score. It's not something that, like, personally that I have, like, a deep love for, but it's hard not to at least recognize it as immediately recognizable and you know, part of, like, the cultural zeitgeist. I guess we follow this down then. Okay. Down we go. I feel like, honestly, most games could have more thoughtful scoring. You know, one of, I would say, the most prolific people in video game scores is Austin Wintory, and he generally does a fantastic job on the projects that he's involved with, including one we played before, Erica. He also did Journey, and I believe Abzu as well. I'm trying to think what else. It's like very recognizably his.
What to make of Donnelly, the laudanum and the syphilis? It is clearly not how he began.
Laudanum ain't no
I've
joke.
been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visiting the island or the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast.
Interesting. His disease is driving in alcohol. No, not yet. That is probably going to be what we watch next weekend, though, or maybe during this week.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. His fingernails were raw and bitten to the
That's
quick.
a bad way to be
They found
found.
the phosphorescent moss that grows in the caves deep under the nails. Whatever he'd been doing under the island when his strength began to fail is lost. He'd struggled halfway up the cliff again, perhaps in a delirium, perhaps trying to reach the Bothy's fire before curling into a stone and expiring.
That is a very sad way to go. But I am very keen on watching WandaVision. Have you checked it out yet, Sammy? Has anyone checked it out? I've heard really good things, but I've been trying to, avoid open spoilers. I've only been seeing, like, general reaction to people who are really, really into the way the show is formatted.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg.
Oh, no.
I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected.
Ooh.
The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves.
That is not
tides
good.
Against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the Bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay, cool. I'm very keen to watch it. And I absolutely agree, Devin. I feel like a score similar to all medium that... Oh, what is this? It's a suitcase down here. Oh. I feel like a score for audio-visual mediums, like, can help it transcend some of its more, like, simple ideas and kind of more viscerally engage with some of our emotional interaction tools. Like, scoring, I feel like, is an art that is both under and... I guess it's mostly underappreciated, but always greatly felt. Like, great scoring is always felt, but I feel like it's mostly an art that isn't appreciated for how incredibly powerful it is. All right, through the caves we go then. Oh, there's a light here. Oh, are these the candles he was talking about that he had left lit and forgotten about? Oh, jeez. Wow. I guess down we go. I mean, I don't think there's a more obvious path. Okay. So that's how, I mean, Jacobson died falling, right? But we aren't Jacobson. But he said his weakness is the combustion
Donnelly's
engine in
addiction is my
fermented
one true
yeast.
constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing inconstantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always
Yeah, it seems like you're bound to him. I think the idea is that we are playing as the narrator. I mean, the narrator is talking about things that hasn't happened to them. Like he's talking about Donnelly, who used to live on this island, and you know, basically came here to like live in like hermitude and seclusion. And the other guy, Jacobson, who came here to learn shepherding or master shepherding and build a house. And then we came here because, I mean, to him, basically, he felt like death had become him. Interesting. Oh, is this where the phosphorescent paint is being made? Are they using like this like fungus to make it? Huh. It's very beautiful. Okay. There are multiple winding paths around here. And he does mention that
There is no other direction.
Oh.
No other exit from this motorway. Speeding past this junction, I saw you waiting at the roadside, a one last drink in your trembled hands.
Interesting. What is this? Huh. Yeah, what is this? Kind of looks like a circuit or dials. It's hard to see. This game was released quite a while ago. Oh man, I can't even remember. This was like, I would say maybe 15 years ago, something like that. The original Dear Esther. Yeah, what is this? Yeah, this looks more like circuitry. Yeah, this looks like a circuit. Yeah. More chemical compounds. The Witcher soundtrack is also incredible. Like, that is a game that the soundtrack does so much heavy lifting for, like, the scenes that you're in. Yeah, it's interesting. All sorts of molecules, circuits, kind of like intermixing. Interesting. This is also kind of shaped like a heart, almost. Alright, well, let's head up this way. Alright, duck down. Yeah, this phosphorescent fungus. It's everywhere here. Yeah, it looks technological. I mean, this is like the remastered port of it. But this game is, I mean, again, I think what makes this game stand the test of time is, again, partially the art design. All right, I guess we're going down.